Okay, welcome to Let's Be Candid with Elder Issues. Today, we're going to be having a guest speaker, but before we get into that, I would like to take a step back a moment. And do you know that 1 out of every 4 people 65 and older are victims of falls? Of those people that do fall, it really can affect them in their home life, in their activity life, because after that fall, they can get very apprehensive of going out, of being active, especially if the weather's bad, if there's too many stairs. What can we do to help that? What can we do to help people maintain their activity and also know what different ways to keep them safe from falls? Well, one way of doing that is we are very fortunate that we have Lieutenant Cavanaugh here with us today to discuss a grant that, because of him foreseeing different things that have been going on for the past couple of years, felt the need that we could go after this wonderful grant. And before I go any further going into it, I'd like to introduce Bill Cavanaugh. Hello.
Thank you for having me, Terry. So we have a grant through the Mass Department of Fire Services. It's called SAFE. And we've had that for a couple of years. When I took over my position from Lieutenant Hurley, he had already set this up with you. So we knew we were going to be doing stuff to help the elders be safer in their homes and to live a more independent lifestyle as long as possible. In doing that, we had come up, between yourself and me, we had come up with some issues that we thought were important to them. We did discussions and we did presentations. We've also done home visits through the Red Cross and through this SAFE grant that has helped a lot of our senior population live that independent lifestyle that we're looking for. When I got an email in the spring, was from the Department of Fire Services, and they were offering a new program through NFPA called Remembering When. And that was really good for us, I think, between the fire department and elder services, because it really helped kind of take all those issues that we were working on together and back them with some actual facts and some data which you and I hadn't had before. And more importantly, it was a lesson model, which we never had before either. We just kind of were putting things together off the cuff and trying to work things out. But I think so far this program has worked very well as a SAFE program. And now in January, we're going to start our Remembering When portion of the program. So
we're very fortunate that we worked on this together. And we've actually gone on the conference of a training to go over actually what's incorporated in this program. And as you and I know, there's eight pieces to it for fall prevention safety, and there's also 8 pieces to it for fire safety. But before we got into this, I think we had a mindset as to really what was needed to give more education. But what do you think are, and still are, like the top 3 things for when you think of elders and fall safety and in the fire prevention, as to when we went out doing some home visits and things? What did you see as things that we really should keep in mind in doing these presentations?
So one of the things that we found for fire safety, which is fairly new technology probably to the elder community, where it has actually become to the forefront of the fire service and keeping people safe, is carbon monoxide detectors, having them working in the home. And we noted that there were quite a few of our elders that either didn't have carbon monoxide detectors or they had outdated smoke detectors as well. And when those detectors aren't kept up with, they're not actually sensitive enough to the smoke that could possibly be in the environment to alarm how it should. So I know that we have used that, and we continue to see elders that don't have those updates. So those are things that if they need them, they're available through the SAFE grant and through the Red Cross, and they can obviously contact the center and ask to be put on a list so we can come out and do a home safety visit. Having like throw rugs around the homes, especially for elders who may not be as stable on their feet or have accessibility devices. Those are a huge trip hazard. And obviously we're in the wintertime, so ice, not shoveled stairs, things of that nature. Those are also things that we're trying to work on, ways to help the elders to mitigate those hazards so that they're not falling. As far as the third thing, I would say just making sure that they have easy exits and they know that they have to be clear at all times, in that they the exit isn't just the doorway, but it's also the stairway leading out, the walkway to get away from the building if there is a fire. A lot of people, they make sure their stairs might be shoveled, but their walkway isn't, or they'll do the front, but they won't do the back. Things like that, just to make sure that they have an escape route and they have a secondary escape route just in case, is something that, as we have the kids learn fire drills in schools, hoping that the elder community will do some sort of familiarization for exits in their own home.
Which I think you segued perfectly into the other piece of this. So not only are we going to be doing workshops at the Senior Center, actually it's a 6-month program that we're doing, but the other key piece, in which we cannot forget, is Laura Pickett. And she is the case manager, actually, who I was very happy to have with me for my last show. And she is actually the home piece, the home visit piece. And can you go into that a little bit as to the importance for the home visits?
Absolutely. And Laura is, she's an amazing part of the team. She's, like you said, she's our caseworker, so your caseworker, really. And, elders feel very comfortable with her in their home. And they may be more open to expressing some concerns with her. But she'll come in and basically just look that they have working smoke and CO detectors, that they have clear exits, that if there are any sort of issues with the exits, like maybe broken doorknobs, loose railings, things of that nature, that we can at least note them and do our best to get some resources to help that elder fix those problems. But she's definitely probably the best resource for the elders to express some of those concerns while she's in their home, because they can actually show her, instead of just explaining to you or me what is bothering them about their residence.
And that's perfect because, again, she is, I think, is a key part. And while people are watching this, I want you to feel comfortable that, just like Lieutenant Cavanaugh is saying, if any of you are having questions about if you do not have a CO detector, please let us know. We're very fortunate through the Red Cross that they not only do smoke detectors, they're combined with CO detectors also. Well, I think at the same time, again, I want to share that we're going to be having this 6-month program. We actually broke it down as to different, breaking it down into those 6 months, make it so that we can really concentrate on certain certain lectures or certain important information. For example, we will have guest speakers that will talk about what's important to have in your bathroom, if you should need a rail to hold on to, or if there's an issue of going into your home, if you don't have any rails going into your home. Different equipment that can be helpful. And the other piece that Lieutenant Cavanaugh and I spoke to that we really didn't think of when we were going through this training is something easy as your shoes, appropriate footwear, making sure that the footwear fits appropriately. So that all these different things, when you put it all together, will prevent those falls. Is there anything else that you feel that's important to add for today?
No, I just to touch on what you're discussing, those 16 key points that we're going to be teaching, the 8 fall and the 8 fire prevention. Like you said, we broke them up, and I think we put a good amount of thought into why we would put certain ones together to kind of make it flow a little bit better, make it easier. And I encourage all the seniors to sign up and attend these workshops. We're going to do it over 6 months, but we also put in a couple of makeup days in case they can't make a day here and there. And at the end, we want to recognize their efforts and their accomplishments with the lunch and their certificate, just showing that they took the time and the initiative to come down and learn what we learned from our conference in San Antonio to help keep them safe in the home. And maybe if we can't reach a certain elder because they're maybe not comfortable, they don't come up to the center, that they're friendly with one of those people that go to this training, and that just helps kind of spread our message a little further, and that may help bring some other people into us, or I know that with our previous visits in talks with the seniors, that has brought some people forward, like, oh, I didn't know that we could do that, and I didn't realize you guys would help us with that. And I think we've really built a very strong relationship between the fire department and the elders in town that was there before, but maybe not as focused. So I really hope that we see everybody up there, and if it's a good turnout and we can't get everyone in the first round, we will absolutely do a second round to make sure we can get as many people covered as possible.
And lastly, as we're saying we're going to do that 6-month training, I think you and I were also discussing that we'll be doing some little mini workshops and little mini discussions as to, say, for example, if there's any organization or anyone wants us to talk about it, that we could. Is there?
Yes, absolutely. I know we had discussed that going in and doing not just the scheduled things that we have for the center, but absolutely going into the different organizations and clubs around town if they would like it, and having a discussion, very obviously scaled down because we couldn't possibly cover what we covered in San Antonio in an hour or two, but to really scale it down, kind of give them more information, hopefully drum up some interest within their organization to send elders up our way so that we can speak more candidly with them.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming out today and talking
about
about it. I just want to show you that, this is the pamphlet for it. There is a logo, remembering when. You'll be seeing this quite often for publication, as in anytime we talk about it, this will be the logo for that. Again, I want to thank you so much for coming out, and I look forward to working with you in the next 6 months of doing this. And what I'd like to bring that piece to a close, but before I close today, I just wanted to share 2 things with you. The first thing being that it came to our attention through the Executive Office of Elder Affairs that there is a scam going on right now, that because it is the opening of a new year, 2017, people are getting calls saying that they're from Medicare. Medicare would never call you, first of all. The government would not make home calls to you. And so what they're saying is that they are Medicare and that they need to update their system with being a new year. And number one, they're asking you for your address, telephone number, which obviously they had to call you. But the most crucial piece is that they're asking for your Social Security number. Just as we've always discussed, please never give out your Social Security number. If anything sounds too good to be true, or they're asking too many questions, it's your right to hang up that phone. As soon as things get uncomfortable, you hang up that phone. If you have a concern that you think you gave information that you shouldn't have, feel free to give me a call at the Senior Center, or feel free to give the police department a call. But please do not give Social Security numbers over the phone, or your bank account number. Bank account number also is very easy to get into. So just to keep that in mind, from time to time I will share this, because every time we turn around there is a new scam that's coming up. And lastly, I want to thank the community. We are very fortunate to be in the town of Wilmington, and the town of Wilmington truly reaches out to the elders in our population. How do I say this? A good example is our giving tree. In the end of November, we put labels on a tree, a Christmas tree or a holiday tree, in our lobby. And there are 200 labels. Every single label was taken out. What was on that label? That was an age of an elder and something that they could possibly use, whether it be someone with financial issues and a gift card to go to Market Basket or CVS, or to be able to go out to a dinner that they could never afford with the local restaurants. The other piece is with clothing, if they needed a piece of clothing, but to be remembered during the holidays where a lot of people, you know, the way life is now, families don't live close by and everyone can't get together for the holidays. I, myself, and my staff were extremely fortunate to be the ones that delivered these gifts. Again, I would say maybe 25% were mailed out and the rest were hand-delivered to people in their homes. And that was the best part. We actually got to really get the true benefit of it as to seeing people's expressions, as to people saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was remembered. Or a husband and wife, and the wife has Alzheimer's, and the husband getting to see how excited his wife was in opening these presents that was specially for her. So I want to thank the Methodist Church that went above and beyond in giving gifts. I want to thank the Boy Scout Troop 56 for making sure that everyone in Deming Way was able to get a gift card to Market Basket. And I want to thank all of the residents of Wilmington that came out and made sure that the presents came back wrapped and that we were able to deliver. So again, we are very fortunate to be in this community. We are very fortunate that people are very outgoing and very caring. And on that, I want to thank you and have a great evening or day. Thank you.